Hey, so welcome to episode 5 of Metal Health Podcast. We've got Alice in Chains on in the background. Jay, you went to see Alice in Chains recently.
Yeah, I did. So they played a couple of dates in the UK, Leeds and London, and Leeds nicely fell on a Saturday, which was spot on. So what I want to say and get out of the way straight away is they had a support act called Blood Red Shoes, who I'd never heard of. In readiness for this podcast, I went on Wikipedia and read up on them. They've got quite a history. They've done soundtracks for Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, never even heard.
I don't mean either. They're a two-person act, like White Stripes, but it's inverted. So the guy's on drums and the girls on guitar, but they're from UK as well.
Cool.
Now they said in between one of the songs that they were handpicked by Alice in Chains, but all that aside, and I'm sure a lot of people like them. Clearly they've had 4 albums out, they've not decided to jack it in after one. They've been used to a lot of soundtrack work, but I wasn't feeling it, in all honesty.
Okay.
And this is the second time it's happened, and I'll touch on their tour in a bit, but Alice in Chains, when they played Nottingham in 2009, they had like a weird, kooky support act, and again, this is probably going to make me sound like a closed-minded metal fan who's like brutal or nothing, but not that you could really call Alice in Chains brutal anyway. But yeah, not really that impressed with the support act. And we've discussed this on one of our earlier pods, I can't remember which one it was, where we were talking about evening widths. We were talking about Machine Head. Now they've got the breadth of catalogue to do that.
These definitely
at this point, yeah, exactly. Alice in Chains, you're absolutely right, Terry. They have definitely got the catalogue for it. So I saw Metallica live back in the early 90s as they were riding the crest of hype of the Black Album, and even they called it out. So they got on stage, went out on stage with a video to Chef Arena, sort of saying, oh yeah, we thought about bands we could bring out on tour like Alice in Chains or Slayer, and we thought, why not play for 2 hours? And at that point, let's forget the Garage Days EP, Metallica only had 5 full lengths. And they played for 2.5 hours.
Yeah. Machine
Head, when they've had 8 albums and now 9 albums, are playing for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Alice in Chains, they've got sort of 5-6 albums, a couple of EPs. They could easily do a full night. So whether they're going out and picking these weird kooky acts for support, I'd rather some more Alice in Chains, and I'll come back into that. I'm going to go through the set list, and this kind of shows it could do an evening with. So, open it with Bleed the Freak from Facelift.
Nice.
Then into a Duval era track, Check My Brain, from the first Duval album, Black Gives Way to Blue.
Yeah.
Again, Alice in Chains self-titled, or Tripod Dog, as some people call that album. I've heard it called loads of different things.
Just self-titled.
Yeah, self-titled is how I tend to call it.
Yeah.
Then Bones and Down That River.
Yes.
Then
Classics.
into Hollow from the Double Cut Dinosaurs here. Last of My Kind from Black Gives Way to Blue. Down in the Hole.
Oh,
No Excuses. Then the last track from, well, not the last track on the album, but the last track they played from the Double Cut Dinosaurs here, Stone. We Die Young. Nutshell. Heaven Beside You. It Ain't Like That. Man in the Box. And then for the encore, they did The One You Know, which was the first single they released from Rainier Fog, which I really do love the riff. It kind of starts like quite chuggy, and it's got that kind of Slayery type flourish. And they played Got Me Wrong from Sap, and I couldn't quite make it out, but I'm sure that Jerry Cantrell said it was dedicated to someone, potentially Chris Cornell, I'm not sure, but I just couldn't quite make it out.
Possibly.
And then they closed with Wood and Rooster. So, if you're keeping tally of all that, so they played 5 tracks from Dirt, 4 from Facelift, 2 from Self-Titled, 2 from Jar of Flies, 2 from Black Gives Way to Blue, 2 from the Double Cut Dinosaurs here, 1 from Sap, and 1 from Rainier Fog. The only thing I would have probably done is I would have swapped The One You Know, from the new album. I would have put that in the main set list and kept then a more memorable one for the encore.
Yeah.
Because I think to sort of break, and everyone goes, oh, it's the encore, it's the classics, and then to go, here's a song that if you've seen it on YouTube.
Yeah, and the kick off with a new one. You were expecting to have it in a new set.
I would have buried it in I would probably put it in after then Bones and Down That River actually.
Or possibly it's like some bands always come out and kick off with it, don't they? Like, this is our new track.
Let's get it out of the way.
Yeah. So
And we'll like play that at the end of this live review anyway. But I've got to say that like it's a strong set list.
It is. It's a very strong set list because again, when I saw them in Rock City, so they played 20 tracks, not 19. So they only played one track more when I saw them back in 2009. But that was front loaded. Well, not front loaded, but it had 7 tracks from Black Gives Way to Blue, and then it was 5 from Dirt, 4 from 3 or 4 from Facelift, and then 1s from everything else. Good news if you're into long hair. Jerry Cantrell's growing his hair long again. I wasn't actually that bothered, but I think I actually messaged you at work this one point, Luke, that the very first time I saw him in the video for Stone, I just thought that with short hair, he looked like James Cameron, the director. And it was very weird and jarring. It's like, why is James Cameron not like filming undersea stuff and talking about blue aliens, and now he's got a guitar in his hand and he's with William Duval? Oh no, it's Jerry Cantrell with short hair.
Hey, if you can think about that, then maybe I'd prefer to see him with a guitar in his hand at the minute.
Maybe, but he's looking a little bit older, not frail. You know, he doesn't like he needs a walking stick, but he's certainly not banging his head as much. But I kind of had a thought that, you know, if Gandalf is referred to as Gandalf the Grey or Gandalf the White, I think at this point with his hair, and he's got this kind of very well groomed and trimmed goatee, which is predominantly grey. He looks like an elder statesman of rock, and I think at this point, Jerry Cantrell should be called the Guitar God. He shouldn't be Riff Lord, because one thing that was apparent in this set list is he does some dang good lead work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Everyone always goes, oh, Jerry Cantrell riffs and harmonies. It's like, yeah, but watch him play lead. He's really underrated for his lead work.
Underrated. Yeah.
Chronically underrated. One thing I noticed, because I went for balcony seats, like me and Terry did for Machine Head, I'm not going to lie and say that the new material, the Duvalier material, is as well received as Dirt or Facelift, because it's not. But Last of My Kind, the response is better. Everyone was singing along to Last of My Kind.
Really?
Yeah, but then you think about it, that album's 10 years old now. Black Gives Way to Blue was 2008. So that is now a 10-year-old song. Yeah, I didn't realise. Fuck me.
I only thought that album came out like fucking 2 years ago.
I know. So it's nice to see that people are getting used to that. One thing that was kind of funny is looking at the age mix. I did see some young people there, which was kind of cool. But it had a really good age mix. But when you saw people my age, I had a kind of the Hanneman Heineken t-shirt on, but you saw so many Pearl Jam, Faith No More, Nirvana shirts. It was people of my age, right? You were 16, 17 in the 90s. Grunge and alt metal was your soundtrack, and I'm going to wear the t-shirt to prove it.
I think that's maybe why Cantrell's underrated, because he's grouped him with that grunge era, and guitarists of grunge era, they weren't that good. They did their job, but they weren't. They weren't fucking virtuosos or anything.
No, that's probably. I think you're absolutely right there. That's it. I think they just kind of made that assumption of, well, it's grunge, that talented, And don't get me wrong, he's not doing loads of crazy ass finger tapping wizardry like someone in. Dream Theater is, but.
What he does is I've always found with Cantrell, he always serves the song. He don't outstay his welcome on a solo or anything like that.
He'd rather be something that's memorable and whatnot.
Yeah.
One thing I was good about though, because it was a nice mix, so there's 2 songs from Black Gives Way to Blue and there's 2 from Devil Put the Dinosaurs here, they didn't play Acid Bubble. Now that's a shame, because that's a really, really, really... See, that's what you're going, ooh, because I know you like that track. Yeah. And I was just like, oh come, and I know it's a long track, it's like just clocks in at just under 7 minutes, but it's a really strong track from Black Gives Way to Blue. Probably didn't enjoy it. It was missing a little something that was hard to put my finger on at first. And then I kept thinking about the Rock City day. And when they played Rock City, they actually had. It wasn't a break for the encore because it was midway through the set. It was a 20 song set list. And it was probably, I think you were. And there was probably, I think it was songs like 8, 9 and 10, or 10, 11 and 12. But they did a mini acoustic part. And they played 3 tracks that were all acoustic. It was just William Duval, and Jerry with acoustic guitars,
Yeah.
drums being very softly tapped, and they played 2 songs from Black Gives Way to Blue, Your Decision and the title track Black Gives Way to Blue, and they played No Excuses acoustically as well.
Track.
And when I left the gig, I was thinking this isn't quite as good. I think realistically, as I sort of reflected on it on the Sunday, I was hoping for a repeat of that mini acoustic break, and then it all goes back to what I was saying at the start of this review, that they could tour without support slots.
Easy.
They could then make that mini acoustic break 5 or 6 tracks long, and potentially, they've done, Alice in Chains Unplugged. That is probably now even more than Nirvana. I think for longevity, that's the album a lot of people are getting from the 90s. If you go listen to one of the MTV Unplugged, you'd probably actually pick Alice in Chains over the Nirvana one.
Yeah.
And you sort of think, right, you could do 5 or 6 tracks, have that nice, because they are getting older, I'm going to acknowledge that. So that's it, don't have a support slot, start at 7:30, 8, do a 5 or 6 acoustic break, so lots of songs that translate well, and then back into it again. I have to say now though, just from the 2 new tracks, so the one and I can't remember the title, but the next one from Radio Fog that was released last week, I am really looking forward to them actually touring that album proper.
That's what I was about to say to you. I'm
holy
going.
Shit!
I'm going.
And now they've got to do a live headline with no supports.
Yeah.
That to me is now they've got to do it now, because listen to the first 2 tracks and that second one, like you said, Terry, it's very dirtish in its sound.
It is very dirty.
And that would be now, if I ever got to interview Jerry Cantrell, I think that's the kind of thing at the end of the interview I was saying to him. He's like, right, the next time you tour, don't handpick one of these cute little 2 or 3 piece.
Yeah. See, I'd have loved to have, said about that little acousticy bit that they did. So I'd have loved to have thrown Nutshell in there.
Yeah,
because I absolutely love that track.
Nutshell suits acoustic.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like to have almost an unplugged set, almost as your opener.
Yeah.
Or maybe LMO in the middle or something like that.
But so the tickets were £42, and when I was
worth the money.
Absolutely worth the money. So the funny thing is, I was googling to try and find out actually the name of the support act, because I really wasn't that bothered by them. And because I was googling to try and find the name of the support act, I actually stumbled upon a Bloodstock forum thread where everyone was going on about the price and sort of saying it's, so it's 50-50. Some people saying it's too much, and then someone's actually saying no. When you're hitting the O2 Academy venues, if it's a big established band, that is roughly what you're paying.
Yeah.
And now your Rammstein-sized bands at arenas, those tickets are now 60. It's the reality of music piracy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How do we make some of the money back because people aren't buying CDs? Well, we'll increase our ticket price. So absolutely worth the money.
On another point in money, what was the merch like?
The merch was good. There was one thing it really bugged me, and it wasn't an OCD thing, but I just didn't see the point. So they had this really cool, so they had a hoodie with a Rainier Fog image.
Yeah.
But they also had this really cool T-shirt with a maze, like in a sort of 3D rendered maze.
Yeah.
Now the back of the T-shirt, what do most metal T-shirts have on the back? World Tour dates.
Yeah.
And it did. It goes Alice in Chains 2018 World Tour, bang, 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 dates. So the front of it, which has this really cool maze imagery, underneath it said World Tour. And that really annoyed me. It was almost like OCD. It's like, why the fuck have you put World Tour under that image
when it's got it on the
World
back?
Tour's on the back.
Yeah.
And that was the only T-shirt that I really wanted to buy. And I'm like, no, that just it annoys me.
Ruined it.
Yeah. They had a key ring that wasn't a bottle opener. It's like, come on. But no, £42 for me, well worth the money. But yeah, the first 2 tracks I've heard off the new album, because they only did 2 dates in the UK, I'm really hoping they're going to sort of step up the touring game, because
I think the when new album drops.
There was a little snippet that it took that long to record this album because they were sorting out legal issues with the new record contract.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if they maybe got new management. He did it. It was literally a throwaway line, but I'm thinking, is this why it's rare as rocking us poop to see him actually do a proper tour?
Yeah.
But yeah, on this new album now, if literally they announce a UK tour for like February next year, I don't care that I paid 42 quid to see him in June. I'll drop that same money again and watch it again.
Yeah,
cool.
Well, I know I'll be dropping the money to see him when this new album drops, because this track, so you could just say, it's just like, if there's a non-Alice in Chains fan, kind of, and you just sort of knew him, they weren't that much involved with the band, and they'd listen to Dirt, this could easily get tagged onto the
Dirt B-side, isn't it?
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, I'm that person. I haven't really heard Alice in Chains since Lane Staley. Nothing new, anyway. And I don't know. I hear what you say.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a mighty fine Lane Staley impression.
Yeah.
But cool. Do you have anything else on the gig review?
I think. I'm trying to think now. Was there any other thoughts? And it can't really help it, I would say, and this isn't a band, it's more sort of the venue, because I had the balcony seats, heat risers, and it was June and it was actually really hot. So one thing I would say is that Town and Country Club, the balcony area, my God, it was brutally hot, but very well organised venue. So I don't know.
Hot gigs, man.
But yeah, I got to the point, I hit tracks sort of 18 and 19, the last two tracks of the encore, and I was kind of like, I kept thinking, so like Woodstock, like, I hope this is the last track, and then Rooster kicked in, and like, I hope this is the last track, because I was starting to feel like, nothing against the band, but I was starting to feel a bit queasy and stuff, and I was just like, oh God, this is just too much.
Eyeballs sweating and shit.
I have to say, the fact I saw lots of younger people, there were sort of like boys and girls in their 20s, and I'm like, do you know what? The fact that it's not just old beer gut fuckers like me, that kind of gave me hope for the future. It's like once being on like a bus, sat behind these two kids who were playing at college, and someone's going, oh yeah, I'm practicing guitar, and I've just about nailed Dime's Head full solo, because that's like one of the best ones ever. And this kid couldn't be more than 18, and it was like, yes, there is hope. And I got that same sort of vibe at that gig, so. But yeah, Camtrail was a little bit slower now, so you're not going to see him going as crazy as you did in the 90s.
Yeah.
But
My God, how old is he now then?
I think he's 52 or something like that.
I was thinking he must be in his 50s.
Yeah, but yeah, the only thing I would say is, because when they were touring the Devil for the Dinosaurs here, they didn't actually do a full UK tour for that, so they played Sonisphere, they played Download, and they probably got like sort of the late evening, two bands before the sub-headliners.
I remember seeing them at Sonisphere, they were fucking fantastic.
They really were. Yeah. But it doesn't really do them justice, does it? No. If you've truly seen it from start to finish, and that's the only thing I would say is if you ever sort of think to yourself, well yeah, but I can make do with catching him for sort of 45-50 minutes at Download, it's like, yeah, if that's your only chance, but you'd be selling yourself short, because they have got, as Terry keeps sort of saying, they're like Machine Head now, they've got plenty of albums under the belt, they've got a breadth of catalogue.
Yeah, get some of the deep cuts out.
That's it, and Willem Duval in Canada does this unique thing of, he's not trying to karaoke mimic Lane. No. It's really, I can't put that, there's no way to accurately describe it other than he sounds like he was not trying to mimic him note for note. He still puts his own little flourish on it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that he does that rather than trying to do a note for note.
Yeah, I think the thing is as well, he's got to meet with Cantrell's vocals as well.
Yeah.
Because if it was too different, it'd just be jarring, and I don't think it'd work. If say Duval was doing his own different thing, I think he just slots into Alice in Chains quite perfectly for my money anyway.
He's like doing a type of vocals as opposed to doing
mimicry.
Yeah, that exact vocal, sound. But yeah, we're gonna close off this live review with their latest track, the one you know. So you can check it out on Spotify. And now we're going to talk about the Yob album, I think. So yeah, there you go. So we're talking about the new Yob album, Our Raw Heart, which come out, well, when we're recording this, a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, I think it was last Friday this album dropped.
So I know that you've been listening to it loads, Terry.
Yes, I have indeed. It's really fucking taken to my heart, this album. I absolutely adore it. As I was saying to you guys earlier, I think it's, pending on other releases, it really has got the #1 spot on my album of the year so far. I absolutely adore this album.
Very bold statement.
But I know what you mean. I've been enjoying it too.
Yeah. I've listened to it in the bath. I've listened to it at work. I've listened to it in the car. Just wherever I can get this album on, I do, and that says something.
Yeah, it does
to me.
Yeah.
But this is Yob's 8th record, and this album, Our Raw Heart, was born out of singer and guitarist Mike Shate, however you say it, health scare. He was hospitalised with diverticulitis early last year, and he likened it to a chest burster wallowing inside him.
It's brutal.
Which, from the album, and the tones and everything that goes on in this album, you can certainly side with him. But yeah, they're from Eugene, Oregon, in the States. Consisting of, obviously, Mike is a singer and guitarist, bassist Aaron Reisenberg, and drummer Travis Foster.
It's an interesting point actually you just made sort of about this album born out of his illness, and it's it's a deep, multi-layered record because he's writing about something pretty grim, like you said yourself, Terry. He thought he might die. He thought this might have been almost like his, was it when you die, your legacy, like, here's my last work.
Yeah.
Because I know that David Bowie's last album apparently.
Yeah.
So when they brought it out, you didn't know he was going to die. He died about, was it about 8 months after it came out?
Well,
then someone kind of went back.
But he knew he was dying.
Yeah, because when you go back and read the lyrics on the last Barry album, apparently you kind of go, fuck, he knew.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I've not really read the lyrics to this, I don't know if that's the saying, but I was sort of thinking, going back to one of our other episodes, we were talking about comfort blankets.
Yeah.
And I mentioned Mastodon. Now I remember that, Crack the Sky. So yes, they were talking about Earth and everything, but that was written about one of the band members' relatives' death.
Yeah.
Because one of them had a daughter called Sky. So it was kind of like a multi-layered thing.
I think it was a sister, wasn't it?
It was a sister, yeah. You think of 9 Inch Nails and the Downward Spiral. You've got sort of Trent Reznor, not in a good place after the success of Pretty Hate Machine. There was a lot of focus on the alternative genre in the early 90s, and the Downward Spiral was kind of a bit of a reaction to that, and he'd been dabbling in drugs a bit. Dirt, classic Alice in Chains album, written with a very dark topic matter. So you've got like a Vietnam veteran struggling, Jerry Cantrell's dad, struggling when he came back to America.
Yeah.
Lots of songs about drugs on Dirt. It is pretty much an ode to heroin. But we've sort of talked about what this podcast is about, and so I know obviously his problem was physical, but let's be honest, if you're having a serious operation, that has a mental repercussion.
Yeah.
If you're doing drugs, that has a mental repercussion. Now, I'm not saying that we're only ever going to like bands whose artists have gone through a really challenging period, but I think the stuff that you're saying about this artist, Terry, and the quality of this album, because I'm in full agreement, is do challenging times for artists, be they physical and then as a subsequent mental problem. We're coming here, we're talking about music, and that helps us feel better. But the actual artists who write and play as well. I know, Luke, you're writing stuff down. Your productivity is probably expanded 1 billion-fold.
It's skyrocketed.
I'm getting the vibe. It seems to me that when we talk about classic albums, seems to be a very strong link between what's an amazing Stone Cold classic album and the chances are that during the recording of that album or in the writing of that album, there's been a catalyst for that.
Yeah. Something fucking obviously tragedy. From a tragedy, something beautiful's come out of it.
Yeah, and this is. I mean, we're nowhere near the track yet because the track links on this album are crazy long.
Yeah.
These are not radio tracks, people.
Nope.
And you're not going to hear it while we're talking about it, but if you do listen to this album, Beauty in Falling Leaves, which is the sort of fifth track in, I think. Fifth track in, and it's 16 minutes long, and my word, I'll agree with Terry on that 100%. It is beautiful, but out of something awful, it's when, my God, is he just proof positive of when life deals you lemons, make lemonade. I mean, this is the best damn lemonade I've ever heard.
Yeah, I totally agree with what he did it largely from his what he worried would be his deathbed.
Yeah.
So did he write a lot of this music before he got the band involved then?
No, he's always had the band.
Yeah, was he writing a lot of the stuff?
He was writing, well, he had to, another thing I found out about Mike as well, he, after his operation, he then got staph infection. So two things tried to kill him in one go, and then he literally penned this album, and I just think it's a riveting document of sickness, health, clarity, and confusion, and it wrestles with mortality. This album as well, and you can certainly feel that's that earthy kind of all-encompassing feeling. There's like something bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of portrays that. You're just this thing, you're just a speck, but with this album, it feels like the whole thing, whole universe, or something's just encompassing it.
I mean, the vocals we've just heard on this track that's playing right now, which is the opening track, sound, I don't want to say death metal, but they're certainly very harsh and corrosive on a Blaze. But and then look at this, listen to this. Those lyrics are not harsh and brutal death metal. That is some soulful shit right there.
Definitely.
The range
from the heart.
That's it, from the heart. The range of this album, vocally, instrumentally, is to be honest, from 1st of January until now, I don't think there's really anything that can compare to this release.
No.
Agreed.
Not that I can think of.
No, I can't. But he does he's got a varied range of artists as inspiration for Yob's sound as well, which I can hear a lot of this. It makes a hell of a lot of sense to me when I read it. This is all on their wiki, by the way, if you want to go read it. If you don't, that's fair enough. Listen to the album instead. But includes Neurosis, Tool, Immolation.
Immolation?
Yeah, Soundgarden, which you picked up on with the vocals and stuff.
St. Vitus.
St. Vitus, Deep Purple, The Obsessed, Judas Priest, Pentagram, Trouble.
Fucking nice.
Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, King Crimson, and obviously the most one we should have picked up on is Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Pink Floyd, that makes sense going with Tool as well, and King Crimson, King Crimson and Floyd, the proggy stuff.
Yeah,
totally.
And then the Tool is like the modern edge to that progginess, but But the thing is, although we hear snippets of it, so like I think it's vocals where you've got the Soundgarden vibe.
Yeah, there's some real soulful Soundgarden.
I think there's probably some Kim Taeyong riffs inspired riffs, but I think let's not. Although he's admitted these are his influences, this is not some lazy copy paste where if anyone's listening to this, don't think that the singer's got I'll put in a Sabbath riff there and I'll put a Pink Floyd prog bit in here. And here's where the Chris Cornell crooning bit goes, and I'll put an Immo death growl in there. He's not copying and pasting like that, is he? It's
not at all.
Everything.
It just seamlessly blends in. Yeah.
Seamless. I like that word.
It is. Everything about this album's seamless to me.
This is.
I've connected with this album on a different level to you guys. I don't know, but I can't say enough good words about it.
I think this is feeling to me, the way we're talking about it, this is feeling a bit like Ishan and Svalbard.
Yeah, totally.
That none of us are in disagreement about this. So like Luke's like smiling and nodding his head along.
Yeah.
And none of us has got a bad word to say about it.
No, not.
And
if you do, I'll fight you.
Be warned.
We're gonna like move on to this second track. Look at this riff, Jesus Christ!
This
fucking
riff.
Yeah.
This is like a churning riff that I don't know. This whole song, Terry brought up a real interesting point where we were like having a little bit of pre-show chat. This riff just goes through the entire fucking track, doesn't let up, doesn't change. It's just the backbone of the entire fucking song.
But everything else breaks down around it.
Yeah, it's great.
It's like the riff is the thing.
It's like a real interesting compositional thing that they've done there. I don't know whether that was intentional, whether they were just like, this is just going to go through the entire thing and we'll just see where it goes, or I don't know, it just happened kind of naturally, but it's great. Love it.
Yeah, it's very like for me, it's like this riff would be playing on the sound if you were going to hell.
The thing what I love about this riff is, so it's very, well, it sounds simple, and the weird thing is, like, I'm going to kind of go on a weird slight tangent, but it's like one of my favourite Slayer songs, but Kerry King hates it, is Skeleton Society, which has one riff which runs through the entire song, it's that and you do sort of think, once I sort of read that interview, because I don't like it, it's got that same riff, and you think, and then every time I hear that song, I do sort of think, like, by 2.5 minutes in, I'm like, yeah, it's just that one riff, it's a bit repetitive. But with this track, yes, that riff is always running, but then there's all this other stuff happening around it.
Yeah.
And it never gets boring. It's just like...
What's the track listing for? What's the time? Sorry for this. Is it like 9 minutes?
Yeah, 9 minutes 49 seconds.
Yeah, so you've got 9 minutes and 49 seconds of this riff.
But it's the other stuff that goes on around it.
Yeah, that's it. It's the other stuff that's been put around it. It's just, it's incredible. Yeah, absolutely incredible.
And I see on a bunch of other sites and reviews and stuff, everyone else is like raving about this as well. So if you haven't heard it, really give it a chance.
Yeah, please go give it a chance.
I've only heard it a couple of times, but I feel like I need to go back and re-listen. I think today was my third listen.
I don't think I've listened to this enough, to be honest with you.
One other thing I want to mention, actually, because I talked about how this seems to be like the Ishan and the Svalbard albums, and we seem to be in mutual agreement. One thing where I think it's got shared with Ishan is, I'm going to say out now, until today, well, not until today, but until this album came out and sort of Terry mentioned it in our group chat, I'd not heard either of the band or heard any work by the band. So, not heard of Yob, never heard of Yob. Luke, could you?
I'd heard of Yob, but I hadn't really heard any of Yob.
Terry?
Obviously. Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, I'd heard of them. Listened to them before?
Yeah, I was listening to the last album they released, which was Clearing the Path to Ascend.
Okay.
How do you think it rates?
And that's an incredible album in itself. But yeah, this is, as I was saying to Jay before we started recording earlier, I do believe this album is a step up. I mean, Clearing the Path to Ascend is an incredible album. But this, I think this one just takes it that little notch further. Because of obviously all the subject matter and everything he's singing about, and
he thought this was his all or nothing.
Yeah.
Right, I might be going, so I'm going to put it all out there.
Yeah.
But it is just.
Was the other album like as expansive as this though?
This
7 tracks and they're all
the
like
last one
10
was
minutes.
a little bit more, would I say, angrier?
Yeah.
A little bit more direct.
Yeah, it was a lot angrier than what this is. This is more like clarity. You know what I mean? He's got a kind of a purpose, if you get me, for this.
Uh-huh.
The last one was more kind of raw anger at things.
But I'm definitely, thinking back to the Ishan discussion and how we're all going to go back and listen to his earlier work, which I have done. I think I'm going to dive back, not just to the last album, but
there's a track called Marrow as well, and that's absolutely incredible. Do you know you said you liked The Beauty in Falling Leaves?
Yes.
If you go listen to the track Marrow as well by them, it's kind of got that same vibe to it.
Lovely stuff.
So yeah, that's one thing I can throw at you. Anything else, guys?
No, I think that's going to clear it for the Yob review. All of us.
Otherwise, I'm just going to sit here saying how brilliant.
We're all in agreement of it's great. You should go listen to it multiple times. Usually in some big cans, but anyway you can get it.
Yeah.
I was going to put one of their tracks on after this, but yeah, as I say, they're all like 10 minutes long, so we won't do that.
You know where to find them. They're all on the major streaming sites, whatever you use.
Yeah. We're going to close out this review and talk about something else. Okay, so when this goes out, we'll probably be going to Techfest tomorrow.
Yay!
So we're just going to talk about like bands that we are looking forward to seeing, bands that we haven't seen before and we're like super into. So yeah, anybody looking forward to seeing anybody in particular?
Yeah, well, I was really looking forward to seeing Norma Jean. But unfortunately, they've pulled out now, which I had to shed a tear about.
Yeah, that blows.
But I understand why they've pulled out, obviously, because it was part of the package for protest. But yeah, totally beyond anyone's control there. Even though I heard that Techfest were kind of working hard to still get Norma Jean there.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it didn't work out. But for me. On the Friday, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Bleed From Within. They should be really good. I really like their new album.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard that yet, go check it out. It's a cracking album. Contortionist as well.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing them. Sixth, definitely. I do want to see them, see what they're bringing to the table.
Now that they've got like a whole new album out.
Yeah,
last time I saw them, they only had their EP, I think.
Yeah, that was it. The Dali Thundering Concept as well.
That's going to be real good.
Yeah, really been impressed with that album. This year, wasn't it?
Yeah. I saw them a couple of years back at Techfest. They were great then.
And for me as well, this is just a Friday. Oh, do you want me to go across all days?
Yeah, I mean, do all days.
I want to see that Ginger. Or is it Ginger?
Yeah.
Because it's I've heard some of their stuff and I'm quite impressed with it. So I thought, while we're there, maybe go to see that. Obviously, I'm looking forward to seeing Acacia Strain, Ingested and Martyr Defiled.
Yeah.
Brutal three bands right there. Who else is there? Damspring.
Fragancia,
yeah. Looking forward to them. That's probably it. Oh, we should really say Heart of the Coward on Thursday as well.
Yeah.
Kind of missed them out. I'm really intrigued to see who the secret act is.
Yeah.
Really, really intrigued.
We got like we've got theories.
We've got theories, yeah. I'm quite glad now Loathe have been added to the bill.
Yeah.
Because I fucking love that album. Cyclemen are worth checking out as well. Conjurer will absolutely rip your fucking face off clean into. Because when I saw him in Nottingham, that's what they nearly did to me. And Employed to Serve, when I saw them in Nottingham, they was the same fucking face melting. They don't fuck about.
Yeah. And you were the one that told me about them.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of mine. You guys?
Me? I've got quite a few shared with you.
Yeah.
Bizarrely, Sixth is one that I'm really kind of
on the fence.
I've tried so hard to like it, but I think with music, it's like the joke about a fart. If you push it, it's probably going to be shit.
Yeah.
Everyone goes, oh yeah, but I was around when Sixth were there the first time, and I probably at that point in time, apart from Sugar, there wasn't really the gent genre. And although like Sugar, I just never really got Sixth first time round. But then second time round, even though I'm into more of this kind of weird sort of off-kilter song structure, there's still something about Sixth that doesn't fully gel. I'm a bit disappointed actually that it's a repeat booking, because I'm conflicted about Sixth as a band as well. When they reunited, they sort of did this interview on on a website once, and they were sort of saying, "Oh, we're the anti-music establishment. We're not like anyone else. We're doing it totally differently." And I thought that was a bit disingenuous and a bit not honest in all reality, because you can't say you're not part of the establishment and then the first thing that you play after you reunite is Download Festival. To be anti-establishment would to refuse to play the Download Festival. Yeah. And then, the merch designs was just like a t-shirt with a front print and nothing on the back, and it was 25 quid, and yet the most expensive t-shirt by anyone else on that bill when they played 2 or 3 years ago was 20 quid. And it's like, you can't get more establishment than charging 5 quid more than anyone else. That's what you expect of DC and Maiden and Metallica, and you're mimicking that behaviour. So to go onto a website and go, yeah, we're the anti-establishment band and we don't do things like other bands, well, actually going on your behaviours, you do things exactly like established mainstream bands. But there's my 6th rant out of the way. I want to watch The Contortionist, because I'm not one of these people who goes, oh, they've mellowed out, I don't like the new work, I like a better mellow. Do want to watch on the Friday Miscreant, purely because there's a couple of people who are in the band at where I work, so you kind of got to figure you've got to give that support to sort of people that you work with and know. Same as you guys well on the Thursday, quite towards Heart of a Coward. Saturday, as you said, Terry, is very brutal, so you've got the 1, 2, 3 punches of Marto, Jester and Acacia. Yeah. But on the second stage, quite looking forward to that Archaon. But on the main stage as well, earlier on, you've got Valis Ablaze.
Yeah. No, I didn't mention them. Forward to.
New album's great.
Yeah.
And then, Sunday, really curious about the Secret Act. I'm hoping for Black Crown Initiate, hint hint.
Yeah.
And again, quite chuffed that load have been booked as one of the last minute replacements, because when Protest and Norma Jean pulled out, it was actually there was a third band, wasn't there? Did it have effect off? It was actually going to be 3 bands that played Techfest, and
because it was all part of that package, wasn't there? Yeah.
Protest was the main band. Norma Jean was a headliner on the other day.
Yeah.
Was it not? Yeah, because that's why Sixth are now a headliner. But I'm sure there was a third act.
There was. I'm sure there was. Can't remember who it was.
And so that's it. So we've got Sixth and Loathe, and then the Secret Act is the third act. So very curious about that. But yeah, I like checking out the more mellowy stuff, because one of my highlights last year was Tosca. So
yeah,
I'm hoping to find a couple of gems along that. There's sort of more chill, atmospheric metal, because with some of the more brutal stuff they've got on there. But I think as well, especially going back to Heart of a Coward, I've spoken to the people who sort of talk about Techfest and want to go to it, and they're like, oh, but that new vocalist like it. It's just like, and it kind of ties into earlier on in this episode talking about Alice in Chains, and we start talking about Lane via William DeVal, and you can start saying, oh well, Jesse versus Howard, this versus that, but let's not write off a new vocalist before.
No, give a guy a chance.
I'm going to give that guy a chance, and plus,
that's your proving ground. That's where you win people over live. On record, you can do anything. You can have effects. You can have this, that, and the other. You can have auto tune. But live, if you've got the chops live, you've got to have it.
Exactly, and I'm guessing that they're going to have some new material with new vocalists.
Of course they are.
Because it's been a few years since their last album. So.
Because of the vocalist first names, it means that for once I could actually quote Star Trek 2 and go, Khan! Khan! What's better than that? So that's my sort of take on this forthcoming weekend.
Cool. So I've got same as you, Heart of a Coward on Thursday, but I'm also quite looking forward to seeing Crystal Lake, who are a Japanese like heavy metalcore-ish kind of band.
Reminds me of a film, that.
It is. It's the place.
Camp
place
that, 5 and 13.
That's it. Yeah. My old brain.
That should be cool. Also, Ursus. I heard some of their shit a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
And I wasn't aware it was actually them until I was listening to stuff this morning. I was like, I've heard this song, and then I looked on my YouTube history and I'm like, shit, yeah, I have heard this. So that would be cool. Friday, Contortionist. Man, I feel like I'm always chasing a few years back when we went and The Ocean played, and it was just so big and proggy and shit.
Yeah. You know what? That'd be ace if they popped in and there was a secret headliner.
That would be good.
Edges everywhere.
Yeah. And the new Contortionist stuff has kind of got that kind of vibe It is mellower, but it is more proggy as well. Miscreant, again, as you say, I know they played locally in Lincoln recently. I missed them, unfortunately, but want to get to hear them at Techfest. Dali Thunder and Concept, that's going to be great. Terry spoke at length earlier about that.
My God.
From Sorrow to Serenity as well. They were there a couple of years back. They were great. Saturday, fucking brutal ass day. So firstly, we got like Spazzy Damspring Fragancia.
Yeah, that'll wake you up.
I'm interested in seeing DVSR as well. So that's a kind of a rap orientated, like almost like Hacktivist.
Oh, a bit Hacktivist, yeah.
But it is like super fucking bouncy. So
cool. That. And actually, last year, I don't know if he was in the room, but Hacktivist got the fucking room really fucking bouncing. It was awesome.
It was great. It was great.
It was fantastic.
Next Silver, they'll be good.
Yeah.
I recently put their new single up on Fire Tracks on the blog.
Oh, right, yeah.
So you can check that out on there. I think it's on their Spotify as well. Obviously, the boys, Martyr Defiled. It's probably going to be the last time that I see them because I know that they're on their farewell tour.
Yeah, they were really good last year as well, weren't they?
Yeah.
I really enjoyed them.
They're always good.
Yeah.
The Acacia Strain as well. Holy shit. Oh man,
so nasty.
I've got a tip for the Acacia Strain. Everybody go for a shit before seeing them, because if not, you will shit yourself.
The brown note.
Yeah,
the dreaded brown note.
when I put this playlist on, the first track that was on there was like stuff off their Wormwood album, and I was just like, "Fuck, that album's heavy."
Yeah, very heavy.
Never seen the Acacia Strain, so I'm really looking forward to that.
No, neither have I.
Sunday,
I don't think.
I'm looking at Lotus Eater. I think they'll be real good. I've heard one of their tracks, I think, and a couple of stuff on their Instagram or YouTube. That's cool. Conjurer. Terry,
don't get me started on them, mate.
You've talked to me about
fucking
Conjurer
fantastic.
last times. They're going to tear it up.
Yeah.
The Hirsch Effect, I think, will be really interesting. They're like German prog.
Oh, nice.
Kind of spazzy. I've seen a couple of live videos on YouTube of them doing something for I can't remember what YouTube channel, but it's like totally live shit, and it tends to be a lot of European bands, and man, they are fucking crazy good.
It's just dawned on me, not so much about the acts, but you know when we were talking about festivals a couple of episodes ago, and I was going about our like Sonisphere because the old Monsters of Rock before it became downloaded, and they had the alternating stages.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever actually mentioned the second stage and the main stage. So we're talking about all these bands, and they're split across two stages. And one thing I don't think we ever mentioned is that we don't have to worry about clashes.
Yeah.
There might ever sometimes be technical issues, a slight 5-minute overrun.
Yeah.
But the
it's not
reality
too much,
is,
is it?
you can sort of say on the Saturday, you know, I want to watch Perception on the second stage, but then I want to watch Vice Ablaze on the main.
Yeah.
And they won't clash.
Yeah.
You'll tag team between the two.
You see, I was worried about Employed to Serve and
The Secret.
Yeah, no, I mean with the headlining, but I know now you've said that, I don't need to worry because I'm like, I want to see Employed to Serve again.
Because that's it, they shut down the second stage, because when the headline of the second stage finishes, it'll be, so Employed to Serve will play after the Secret act on the main, and then they shut down the second stage.
Yeah, so I don't know what you guys' feelings on Betraying the Martyrs are, but I'm not a fan at all.
I wasn't. Their most recent album's real good.
Is it?
Yeah, I forgot what it's called, but it's a step forward in my book. I wasn't really into their older stuff, but the new album's good.
All the other stuff I've heard from them, I've not really been too much of a fan of. So,
but that leads us into Secret Act. Who do you reckon it's going to be?
Tool.
I saw someone on the group say that the other day.
So I think Simon
put the announcement. I'm a dreamer.
Yeah. So I think when Techfest put the announcement, they said, "Oh, we've got Loathe and we've got Sixth and the Secret Act." I think so. They then captioned it with, "You will not be disappointed." So that was the closest really you got. So unless that clue is it's a band that's got disappointed in the album title. But I'm guessing it's going to be a band that the fans of this festival go to.
I'm with you.
So I think it's Sleep Token, and I think the whole thing about having it as a secret act goes along with their kind of whole mysterious ethos as well. that maybe we don't tell them.
But I did have
Worship.
one. Yeah. Well, we just shouted out the ocean. I've had two, which would be on my wish list, would be Monuments or Tesseract.
I'd love that, but I think that they're bigger than Betraying the Martyrs.
Yeah, we could always bump them down.
Possibly, but it may also be that the reason it's a secret act is because it isn't 100% yet. So we might get a little bit disappointed, but
yeah,
I don't know.
For me, so I think a couple of people mentioned the Ocean, and when they played last time, they weren't the headliner. And I'm thinking they could have been the headliner.
Yeah, they were like 6 o'clock on first stage.
But that's it. So maybe it's so if you talk to most people into metal, do they know who the Ocean are in the UK? Potentially not. So could they have that same slot again, just before the main band? Could be the sub-headliner on main stage? Potentially could be the Ocean.
Oh man, if it's the Ocean, you know what that means?
That means 50 different merch designs.
Oh man, sweet ass merch.
And I ain't got any money.
What I would truly like though, even if they're not as broad and as proggy as Ocean, is Black Crown Initiate.
That would be really cool.
I would love them. Yeah. I would love them to. I don't think they will. That's my heart. Head says Ocean, Monuments, Tesseract, or Sleep Token. I think Head Logic says it's one of those four.
Yeah.
Heart is I wish it was Black Crown Initiate.
Yeah. Well, I know you've been you're like proper rep from. Whenever anybody's like talking about gigs, like Black Crown.
I'm shocking them so hard. I know they started. So they shared an Instagram post back at the start of this year. I think it was like
yeah, because I know they're doing a new album.
They're in the studio, but then it's like they've just gone quiet. Then they announced that their singer guested on the Rivers of Nile. Yeah. And again, it's all gone quiet. And they actually did comment on Facebook.
Well, I'll tell you what would happen if they were fucking popped up Rivers.
So they can't because someone, when they sort of announced the secret act.
Oh yeah, they're on tour.
They're on tour, so it can't be them. But that's why I'd like. That's why,
the dream.
That's why Heart is Black Crown. But yeah, you're right, Luke. I probably should stop mentioning them because I do jock them super hard.
I feel like
I'm genuinely not taking kickbacks from the band.
I can see them at Techfest, Lee. That's the thing.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
They work so well.
Easy. Very easy. Anything else on this? Any like? I know you had a few like bands that people might not have heard of. But is there anything standing out to you that'll that people should go check out that they might not have heard of before?
Yeah, I would go see Ursus on Thursday. I think they're real good. Kind of a different take on shit. On the Friday, I would say Miscreant, Rep Miscreant. Who else we got?
See, for me, that's Stom. I heard a bit of them and they sounded really good.
Cool.
Really kind of like doomy.
You see, that's what I love about Techfest. Is that it's super accessible. Like if you went to, for instance, like Download, you couldn't see every single band.
No, and you'd have to walk 15 miles in the process.
Also, they wouldn't fit together either.
Yeah.
You know, they wouldn't be same genre bands or similar genre bands that you could just be like, you know what, I'll probably like them.
You can also take your statement both ways there, Luke. So you sort of said you can't see every band and you're talking about stage classes, but because it's such a small grassroots festival, you can also take that to mean you wouldn't see any bands at Download because they'll all hide behind the little VIP thing.
Yeah.
The bands are that small, they will camp at Techfest with the punters.
Yeah, you see
and
them
if
all
they're
the time.
playing on the Thursday or the Friday,
they
will actually camp the Saturday and the Sunday. They'll do guitar workshops after the kind of the headliners finish at 11.
Yeah.
You hit these 11:30 after parties, and they'll do little guitar workshops. So last year they did a Slam Terror cover band. This year they were talking about doing a Linkin Park tribute, but I think that's kind of got nixed because of Vinnie Paul's death, which I think we're going to talk about in the next episode.
We are indeed, with a special guest.
But I think again now the Slam Terror has crept back in as another after party show, and I can see that being on the Saturday night after all that. The three heavy hitter bands, I can see that the late night after party is going to be Slam Terror, Vinnie Paul tribute again. So
I actually saw something on that. Somebody said they put in it was like on the Techfest group. They put in there's an actual proper Pantera cover band as well, not actually Slam Terror.
Oh yeah. I saw
Someone put them in
that.
and I checked them out and they're pretty tasty. And I was like, yeah. He went, what are these? What about these for the secret act? And I just put backed because if it's just someone playing a load of Pantera covers, I would be fucking over the moon.
So would I, but there's one problem, and this is where I get a bit hippie-ish. I feel really sorry for betraying the martyrs with that.
Yeah.
Because let's not bullshit each other here.
Yeah.
If the Secret Act was a Panteras cover band, that's all they did, and we're shitting like you're talking fucking airtight tight.
Yeah.
And they're just going to bust out all the greatest hits from Cowboys to reinvent
People
it.
are going to be losing their shit.
They lose your shit, and then how would Betraying the Martyrs follow that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I was a headliner, I'd be like, I can't, no, you can't be doing that. They can play an after show party, but how can we compete against songs that everyone knows off by heart?
Yeah.
And probably half the people at this festival have never seen Pantera live, so maybe this will be their next best thing. So I'd love it.
Yeah.
But I'm being quite selfless here in saying, if you put them in the Secret Act slot, that would fuck Betraying the Martyrs slot up for them, and it wouldn't be fair.
Totally.
Getting all hippie-ish there, but
so
that's fair enough. But now I'd still back that fucking hard.
So we've also got ourselves some little collar mics. So we're going to be doing some short reviews whilst at Techfest.
Yep.
Of like some of the stuff that we've seen.
Come say hello to us.
Decent artists, yeah. Come say hello.
Have a beer with us or whatever.
Yeah.
Or tell us to fuck off. I don't care either way.
So because I was talking about Acacia Strain earlier, I think I'm going to lead out this podcast with the Acacia Strain bottom feeder off Wormwood.
good choice.
Just because it's hardest to drop.
Yeah.
So yeah, see you next time.
Bye bye.
See ya.